The mirror that remembers. What if I told you your reflection could keep secrets you've long forgotten, or worse, expose memories you were never meant to remember? Tonight, we unravel a chilling tale about an ordinary mirror, hiding something far more sinister than smudges. Are you brave enough to face the truth? Staring back at you, the story begins with an antique mirror. It wasn't purchased, inherited, or gifted, it just appeared. Our protagonist, Emma, found it leaning against the wall of her apartment after moving in. No note, no explanation. At first, it was just another piece of furniture, dusty, ornate, slightly cracked at the edges. But as the days passed, something began to feel off. The air around it seemed colder, heavier, and every time Emma walked past, she couldn't shake the feeling that her reflection lingered for just a second too long. One evening, after a particularly exhausting day at work, Emma decided to clean the mirror. She wiped the surface, revealing an inscription etched into the corner. "Do not ask what lies beyond." She chuckled nervously. What kind of weirdo writes that on a mirror? But as she polished the glass, her reflection smiled. Emma hadn't. Her hands froze. She leaned closer, her breath fogging the surface. "Maybe I'm just tired," she whispered. But deep down, she knew. The smile wasn't her imagination. Over the next week, things spiraled. Emma began noticing small, subtle differences in her reflection. A twitch of the eye here, a slight tilt of the head there, movements that didn't match her own. Then, one night, the mirror spoke. "Do you remember me?" Emma stumbled back, heart pounding. She stared at her reflection, which stared calmly back. I don't know what you're talking about." The reflection leaned closer to the glass, whispering, "Oh, but you do. You've forgotten, but I remember. Let me show you." And just like that, the lights flickered. Shadows danced across the room as the mirror's surface rippled like water. Suddenly, Emma was no longer in her apartment. The reflection had pulled her into the mirror, a realm cold and suffocating, yet eerily familiar. She was standing in a dimly lit hallway, lined with dozens of identical mirrors. But these weren't ordinary reflections. Each one showed a version of herself she didn't recognize, crying, screaming, bleeding. And then she saw it, the memory she had buried. A car crash, a rainy night. The screaming wasn't from her reflection, it was from her victim. She hadn't just survived the crash, she had caused it. And the mirror had been there that night, watching, remembering. "Why are you showing me this?" Emma demanded, tears streaming down her face. The reflection, now fully independent and menacing, stepped through the glass. "Because you've run from the truth long enough. Justice demands a reckoning." Emma tried to run, but the mirrors in the hallway closed in, surrounding her. Each reflection spoke in unison, their voices hollow and haunting. "You can't escape yourself, Emma. The mirror doesn't lie." In a blinding flash, Emma woke up on her living room floor. The mirror was gone. Everything seemed normal. But as she stood up, she caught her reflection in the window. It was smiling, just as it had before. And there you have it. A mirror, a memory, and a reckoning. What would your reflection reveal if it could tell your secrets? If you're still breathing steadily after this story, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with your bravest friends. And remember, the mirror never forgets.